Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of the MMG Podcast. My name is Chris, and I am joined by my good friend Gocubs.
Hello, I caught them all, bitches.
Yes. Welcome to the first ever episode of the MMG Podcast, and this is the first ever edition of our rebrand that I've been wanting to do for this podcast. Now the Survivor podcast that we have currently, we're going to finish out the Survivor podcast as its own entity right now, until this season ends, and then it will become part of the MMG podcast. And generally, this podcast is going to be dedicated to what we've always been doing. It's going to be filled with sports stuff, filled with reality show competition stuff with Survivor and Big Brother. We may talk about our lives and video games and other things that we want to talk about in podcast form. And today, we are in March, and for any sports fan, it is the start of March Madness. And by the way, I should also point out, Gocubs is probably going to be the primary co-host of this podcast.
Nice.
If he doesn't end up appearing on some podcasts, I'll probably go solo for some of the NFL stuff or some of the other sports stuff that I do. Unless he wants to join along and he thinks that he can add some commentary to it.
So you guys better get used to my voice,
right?
And my dumb comments. Making fun of Chris.
Right. I don't know if there will be any additional hosts or guests that I can think of at the moment, but if they ever come up, I'll be glad to bring them on, because there's a lot of people out there who like to talk a lot, like myself, so it'll be fun.
Yeah.
So today we're gonna go through the March Madness bracket, and we're going to give our predictions to seeing what happens. And before we actually break down who we have, Gocubs, I want to talk to you about your process and what you do to pick these games, because you don't do it by the usual, like, oh, who do I think is actually going to win?
No. So I have a very interesting process when it comes to this, mostly just because it's fun and I want to just see it actually happen. So what I do is I take two computer players in Super Smash Bros. 4, set them to level 9, put them on random, and then I adjust the handicap percentage depending on what seed they are. So seeds 1 through 6 are just that number times 10. So seed 1 is at a 10% handicap, seed 2 is at a 20%, and so on. 7 and 8 are both at an 80, 9 and 10 are both at a 100, 11 and 12 are both at 125, 13 and 14 are both at 150, and 15 and 16 are both at 200. The only reason for that is that's just how the percentages in the game line up.
Right.
And then I just go, they battle, they only have one stock. Once that one stock is gone, moves on. And they're all random characters except this time, and I think we can do this in the future, I picked the final, for the championship round, I picked their characters depending on the team's mascot.
Oh, okay, cool. That was actually my next question. I was gonna ask, was there what was the once we get to the final four, you could talk about it more, but I was very interested to see who you actually picked for each one.
They were all random, but I will tell you who I picked for the final two.
Yeah, cool. All right. So let's get into it. So there's going to be no visuals like our old podcast format. So if you have your bracket and you know who's playing, go ahead and pull it up. I'm sure you'll find it on ESPN, CBS Sports will have it. It's everywhere. So go ahead and look into it.
Better.
So yeah, I have mine from ESPN. I had to actually print mine out for my sports writing class, so it's fun. So we're gonna start from the East region, and who comes out of the Villanova quadrant for you, Gocubs?
So you'd think it would be Villanova, right?
You would think, right?
It's Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, okay.
Wisconsin upsets Villanova.
Yeah, actually, what I have is I actually picked Virginia Tech over Wisconsin, and then Villanova beats Virginia Tech. Villanova
Gotcha.
makes it to the. I think and this and
This makes
I do my picking just because what I know my knowledge of this
sensible way.
stuff. The sense of right. Well, no. I mean, I think it's fun. I wish I had a process as fun as yours with the Super Smash Bros. But I just go off what I know about these teams. And I'll be honest, I don't really know a lot about college basketball, so I'm probably way off at some of these predictions. But Villanova is who I came out with. I think they're just playing lights out, playing fantastic lately. So, all right, who comes out of the Florida quadrant for you?
University of Virginia.
University of Virginia. Okay, so they that is so. Does Florida make it? Does Florida beat Eastern Tennessee? Okay, so it's Florida versus Virginia. One of the I actually attend Hofstra University. So I'm fine with talking about that. But we are in the Colonial Athletics Association, which is one of the many different or I guess conferences in Division I basketball, and UNC Wilmington has been playing absolutely insane basketball, and I say they at number 12 seed make it to the Sweet 16. I think Florida's not been playing that well. Virginia has kind of struggled down the stretch as well, and I doubt Eastern Tennessee will be able to beat Florida. So that's where I'm coming from. That would be a big upset, but it would be fun. So I have Villanova taking on UNC Wilmington. What about the Baylor quadrant?
Southern Methodist University.
Okay, so SMU
defeating Baylor.
Yeah, I have the same exact thing. SMU has been playing fantastic.
For like the past 2 years that I've been paying attention to this, Baylor has always been such a huge disappointment to everybody.
They have. Yeah. They're a disappointment of a university in general. But sorry, Baylor people. But SMU, SMU as a team has just been kicking ass in the American Conference. I think that they'll make a deep run as well. And what about Duke? The Duke Conference.
Duke.
You got Duke. I got Duke as well. Duke beats South Carolina. Yeah, I just Duke is way too powerful.
Yeah,
you can't take him down.
Fuck Grayson Allen, but they're really good.
Yeah, they're quite unstoppable. Let's go over to the Midwest region. We have the Kansas quadrant.
Kansas.
Yeah, I have Kansas too.
Yeah.
They beat Miami to move on.
They beat Michigan State for me.
Yeah, I was surprised about Michigan State being in it.
Yeah.
I
mean, like,
go ahead.
Michigan State is also another what I consider a huge disappointment, because last year they lost the first round of the college football championships.
Yeah, Tennessee.
And then Middle Tennessee.
It was great. Yeah. So I have Miami beating Michigan State because I don't know if Michigan State is as great or as good as they usually
they're probably not, but I picked this bracket with Smash Bros. So
right, yeah. No, I'm just for me, I think Miami has played a lot better down the stretch than Michigan State. What about coming out of the Purdue quadrant?
Purdue.
I have Iowa State. I think Iowa State just won the Big 12. I think it has a big advantage. Purdue just lost to Michigan in their first round, when they played first in the Big Ten championship. I just think Iowa State has been the better team thus far. However, Purdue can make a run. The Boilermakers, which is a strange mascot.
They make trains, Chris. I've been to Purdue. It's a cool campus.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, let's see. We got the Oregon quadrant now.
Creighton.
You have Creighton coming out of it.
Yep.
Okay. That's not too much of an upset at all. I think because Oregon's been struggling with with a very key injury. I forget what the athlete's name was, but he been a very key contributor for them. He went down unfortunately. I think with a torn Achilles maybe. I don't know. But he's out, and that's could probably hinder their chances of making the championship. I still have Oregon making it to that far, making it to the Sweet 16. I think that they're deep enough where they can get through Iona, and I actually have Rhode Island beating Creighton.
Oh,
Just because of the way that Rhode Island has been playing, they actually just won the Atlantic 10 championship. I think that they're gonna keep the momentum going for that going into Oregon.
all right.
So, and then we have Louisville quadrant.
Louisville.
Yeah, same here. Louisville.
Actually, I like Louisville a lot as a school.
Yeah, yeah.
They're probably the best school. Probably like the only good thing in Kentucky.
All right, sorry, Kentucky. It's just I mean, I guess it's something to be prideful about, the Louisville Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to like the city of Louisville too.
Okay.
Cool. It's just hard to say because like a lot of people in the Midwest, especially, go Louisville, like two syllables.
It's a village.
Instead of Louisville, it's like Louisville.
The village of Lou. He is all dedicated to a guy named Lou.
Yep.
Yeah, I have them beating Michigan, who just he has been flying into the NCAA tournament.
Fun fact: I do have Oklahoma State over Michigan.
Okay.
Which I was actually upset about because I like Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan. They have a really great story coming into it. With the plane crash that luckily no one was seriously hurt out of it, and they were able to play. I think within 24 hours, and they were able to beat everyone.
Beat Illinois.
Beat Illinois. Which sorry, Gocubs. But no, it's a great story. I'll be interested to see how much that momentum that they have from winning that championship carries into the tournament. We'll see. But right now, I have them over Louisville, or I have Michigan losing to Louisville.
Yeah.
All right, and then we'll move down to the South quadrant.
Okay.
We'll do North Carolina quadrant.
North Carolina
survives it. Yeah, not a lot of threats out of there. Texas Southern, Seton Hall, Arkansas. I don't think any of them really. It would be I think if any of them have a chance to upset them, it'll be Seton Hall, who has a history of it, but I doubt it. All right, here you go. This is the Butler quadrant.
Minnesota.
Middle Tennessee. I knew you were
gonna pick them.
I knew it because they are the upset specialists from last year. I feel like if they have the same group from last year coming into this year, I have them beating Minnesota, but they are not beating Butler. I have Butler coming out of that quadrant. I
have Minnesota over Butler.
Yeah, so a very interesting quadrant. And they talk about this every year, but definitely if you're a fan of major upsets, hashtag Team Chaos, as we like to put it here, you want to keep an eye on the 5-12, 4-13 matchups, because those tend to happen a lot there in those areas. All right, what about the UCLA quadrant?
UCLA.
Yeah, I have UCLA too, beating Cincinnati.
What happens when you go to the or what do you see when you go to the southern part of California? UCLA.
I said it in my mind first. I was just like, God damn it! I don't even want to give him the satisfaction.
Yeah, I have UCLA over Cincinnati.
Yeah, good group. Lonzo Ball's been incredible for that team. Their lack of defense might hinder them at some point, but they've been playing very well nonetheless. And who do you have coming out of the Kentucky quadrant?
Kentucky.
I
really don't like Kentucky, but
I have Wichita State.
Are you serious? All right.
Upsetting Kentucky. Wichita State has a history of just kicking ass and just out of nowhere, just being one of those teams that's just one of the most dominant in the country. And Wichita State, I think, has the tools to beat Kentucky, and I think it will do it. So I have Wichita State beating them. All right, last but not least, the West Conference. We're gonna go with the Gonzaga quadrant.
The Bulldogs.
Got the Bulldogs. Gonzaga myself.
Unfortunately, over Vanderbilt, I was hoping Northwestern was going to win that one, but because I like Northwestern, this is their first time in the NCAA tournament ever,
Yeah.
like ever. But I've got Gonzaga over Vanderbilt.
I have the same exact thing. Gonzaga over Vanderbilt, and not that I don't think the Northwestern has a good chance against Vanderbilt. I think they do, but Vanderbilt has beaten Florida a bunch, which is a top, in top 4 seeds in the East, and I think they have the tools to kick any team's ass. And I don't know that they I don't think they have the tools to make a very deep run, but I think they can beat Northwestern, so I went with that. But Gonzaga is my team that comes out of that quadrant. All right, how about West Virginia?
Unfortunately, Notre Dame.
Yeah,
I hate Chris. I hate Notre Dame. You have no idea how much I hate Notre Dame.
Yeah, I feel you, man. They are the they're the prestige of sports, though.
Shut the fuck up. Did you ever think of that?
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's like it's weird how they do carry themselves in this. It's like this, like the prestige organization or university for all the sports stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, but have they done well lately?
Yeah,
not really. Well, I mean, we'll see. I guess when it comes to this tournament ladder, but I don't know. I have West Virginia beating them in the round of 32 and moving on to the Sweet 16 myself. All right, what do you think is going to happen in the Florida State?
All right,
quadrant.
So Florida State, but Florida State beating Xavier.
So you have Xavier beating Maryland. Yeah, I actually have Maryland in this quadrant coming out of to the Sweet 16, and I have them beating Florida Gulf Coast.
Shit!
Because Florida Gulf Coast, I did when I was picking these because I was like, who has a history of just going into something as a big underdog, and then just beating that team. Florida Gulf Coast has a history of that, and I think that they go in to Florida State, and I'm listening to analysis on TV. They're like, yeah, I don't know if Florida State has a good matchup with that team. So I went with Florida Gulf Coast. I think Maryland will beat Xavier just because Xavier has been like kind of in and off of the bubble, and they just got in at the end. So I went with Maryland to beat go through it. And
well, that was the biggest round of 64 upset that I had.
Okay, I guess because that's just based off of the system. Have you ever seen in all your years of doing the Smash tournament ladder? Have you seen an upset of a 16 seed being a number 1? At all?
No.
Or a 15 beating 2? No.
I had a 14 beat a 3.
Okay. Do you remember which colleges those were?
University of Alabama Birmingham beat Iowa State 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I was the only person in all of my pools that picked that.
Wow. Wait, so it actually did happen, and you predicted it. That's incredible. Good job. Good job. There's always I think last year there was one other one that happened where we had your bracket, and I was just like, oh my god, look at that. You always have one of those that you're like, wow, you nailed it.
Yeah.
It might be Xavier over Maryland this year. Who knows? All right, and what about the Arizona quadrant?
Arizona.
Yeah, I have Arizona as well. Kicked ass in the Pac-12 tournament, and I have them over St. Mary's. So
I have them over VCU.
VCU. Yeah, VCU, top of their Atlantic 10 conference.
Fun fact, all of the 10 seeds beat the 7 seeds.
In your tournament?
In my bracket. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you have Wichita State over Dayton then.
Yeah.
And you had Oklahoma State over Michigan.
And Marquette
over South Carolina. All right. Very unique. I always want some upsets. I always want some double digits teams like making a deep run and just kicking all the number 1s, 2s, and 3s out of the tournament. Syracuse. Yeah, Syracuse was a fun surprise last year.
Yeah. What seed were they?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm not gonna remember. I think they were 10.
I think they were 10. Yeah.
10, and they made it to the Final Four, and
Final Four.
we might see that happen this year. All right, so now let's start. Now we have the Sweet 16 all set up. Let's talk about who beats who.
right.
Sweet 16. We'll start with Villanova. We'll start with actually, you have Wisconsin against
Virginia.
Virginia. Who do you have beating?
Virginia.
Virginia. Okay,
Yeah.
and how about you take it away, because I didn't have yours written down. So you have Virginia beating Wisconsin.
Should I just do all of? Should I just do my 2 East ones or all my Sweet 16 ones?
Do all your Sweet 16 ones.
All right. So I have Virginia beating Wisconsin. I have Duke beating SMU.
Mm-hmm.
I have Kansas beating Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
I have Louisville beating Creighton. I have UNC beating Minnesota. I have Kentucky beating UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
I have Arizona beating FSU, and I have Gonzaga beating Notre Dame.
Okay. For me, I have Villanova over UNC Wilmington. I have Duke over SMU. I have Gonzaga over West Virginia. I have Arizona over Maryland. UCLA over Wichita State. UNC over Butler. Oregon over Louisville. And Kansas over Iowa State. So I have 2 pairings of number 1 and number 2 seeds, and 2 pairings of number 1, number 3 seeds. So not enough upsets to have a lot of higher numbers in here. But I went with my gut. What about you? What did you end up having for yours? What was it?
Numbers wise, I have so 3 of them are 1-2 matchups.
Okay.
Seed 1-2 matchups, and one of them is a 2-5 matchup.
2-5, and that's the
Duke versus Virginia.
That's Duke versus Virginia in the East. Yeah. Okay. So we generally not a lot of surprises, I guess. But I think Duke versus Virginia would be, a lot of people would be surprised to see Virginia make the Elite Eight. But hey, we gotta trust the Super Smash Bros. You know.
Yeah.
You got trust in that in Nintendo.
They predicted Duke 2 years ago, so
Hey, there you go. It predicted that champion.
Yeah.
You gotta roll with it. All right, so then from there, Elite Eight. I'll start here. I'll go.
Okay.
I'll go Villanova over Duke in a surprise one. Many people think Duke is not a good matchup for Villanova. I'll take Villanova. Gonzaga over Arizona. UCLA over UNC. So number 1 upset.
All right.
And Kansas over Oregon.
All right. I have Duke over Virginia, Kansas over Louisville, Gonzaga over Arizona, Kentucky over UNC.
Okay, so you have Duke, Kentucky, Gonzaga, and Kansas.
Yes.
Okay, so you and I have 2 of the 4. I have Villanova, UCLA. You have Kentucky and Duke.
Yes.
Essentially. Okay. All right. So then, Final 4. We're down to the big showdown, Glendale, Arizona. Who do you have making it to the final?
I have my final as Gonzaga versus Kansas.
Gonzaga versus Kansas. All right. I have Villanova against Kansas. So we both picked Kansas as being part of the final. Who do you have winning the entire thing?
I have Gonzaga beating Kansas 86-81.
All right. I have Kansas beating Villanova 92-89.
All right.
Defense goes out of hand. So yeah, I think that we actually were a lot closer than I initially thought we were going to be down the stretch there. I think Kansas is going to be I would love to see Kansas win it. Personally, I've rooted for Kansas for the most part as my favorite college basketball team. And then we have I think that Villanova has probably the best shot right now is to repeat, but we'll see what happens. And of course, Kentucky and Duke are the 2 teams that who knows? They're probably gonna they'll either lose in the round of 32 or they'll march all the way into the final and win it all, because those are just 2 of the best coached teams in basketball. And although I gotta say, if Gonzaga ended up winning the whole thing and they're number 1 seed for a reason, it would be an incredible story for them. It would be good to see
like
that happen.
Here's how I see it. Like the other schools that are like in the top like 1 and 2 seeds are huge basketball schools and have been for a while. But like Gonzaga being like a literal underdog because they're the Bulldogs. And just in terms of like school size and location, like it's in Spokane, Washington.
Oh yeah, that is a small town.
Like just the fact that they are like such a small scale school, I like them a lot, and I hope that they win the tournament.
Yeah, and I think that it would be one of the. I love seeing new teams win it. You know, I don't like seeing the usual ones. You know, there's the usual ones that compete, and I'm okay with that. But I want to see new ones make it. And Villanova won for the first time, and I think it was like 25, 26 years, or something along those lines. So it was fun to see them win last year. I would love to see another team, a new team win. It would be exciting for that. So that is our brackets. I don't really think that there's anything else to add other than
trust the process.
Trust the process.
You gotta trust the process.
I hope you all enjoy the March Madness. It is a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of chaos the next 3 weeks, and Team Chaos is gonna prevail. I hope.
Oh, I can't. Like, I want my Smash bracket to do well, but like Team Chaos happening is always a welcome thing.
Absolutely, and I think last year was so much fun watching. Like you had Northern Iowa. You had Syracuse. You had Northern Iowa upsetting a few of the one of the Texas teams that were doing really well. I think they upset Texas Longhorns, and then they lost to Texas A&M. I could be wrong. It was one of those reversed. And then you had Middle Tennessee, obviously, over Michigan State last year. So you have a lot of chances. And then there's always the one thing that has never happened in a tournament before, which is a number 16 seed beating a number 1 seed. Will it happen this year? I have no idea.
Probably not.
I would like to hope. I think I've been looking at the field right now. Who's at number 16? I would be really shocked if any of them end up beating the number 1 seed. If it happens, though, Team Chaos is the true winner. There you go.
If it happens, like people lose $80,000.
Yeah, the entire. Almost everyone that filled out a bracket, their brackets would be busted and it would all be over. Everyone just go home. It's not even worth it anymore.
Yeah.
My God, this is gonna be a betting frenzy in the U.S. It's gonna drive up the economy until everyone loses their money again. because all the brackets suck ass. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you all enjoyed the first episode of the MMG Podcast. We're going to do more of these, and this is, like I said, all the podcasts that we've done in the past will now merge into this one, except for the Survivor one, until that one will go until this season ends. Then it'll become part of the MMG Podcast.
Just to be consistent.
Yeah. We'll have everything come together by the end of May, and this will be the only thing that you will ever see ever again. And what I might try to do is maybe looking to doing some SoundCloud uploads of this podcast potentially. I know that there's some people that use iTunes to upload there, but for the most part, that would be if I wanted to charge anyone for it. I don't want to. This is just free stuff that you can listen to us talk about stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the future of this podcast and the future for sports and gaming and reality show nonsense. It'll be fun. So and I'll be pleased to ride along with you, Gocubs. It'll be great.
Yeah, whatever the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, whatever we're doing with our lives, which for me, absolutely nothing. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Be good to one another, be kind to one another. We'll see you guys.
Sports better than other people.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast.
Bye.